Urgent, overlapping a hot mic. I think it's too late now. He was just telling me to stand back. When a loud noise echoes through a secure zone, the immediate physical reaction is a scramble. We are at the edge of the White House grounds, right by the North Portico. It is a busy Saturday. The president is inside the Oval Office, and delicate international negotiations are actively underway. Then, a man walks up to a security checkpoint, pulls out a pistol, and fires 3 times. Within seconds, the entire complex drops into a total lockdown. Secret Service and tactical units immediately surge to the perimeter. Streets are cordoned off. The physical space available to the public rapidly shrinks. Members of the press corps are suddenly trapped. Reporters are ushered out of the open and told to duck into garages. If a journalist wants to cross the street to get a better vantage point, the police give a simple answer. It is too late. During a high-stakes security breach, authorities do not care about broadcast deadlines. The flow of information pauses completely to accommodate the physical containment of the threat. When we watch the news at home, we expect a sterile, controlled environment. We see perfectly lit anchors sitting comfortably behind a desk, delivering facts in an orderly rhythm. On the ground, reporters have mere minutes to deliver that same broadcast-quality report while standing on a patch of concrete rapidly filling with federal agents. A polished live shot requires constructing a temporary illusion of order directly on the edge of an active crime scene. The first problem a reporter faces is geometry. They have to find a visual frame that actually shows the gravity of the event without physically stepping over a police line. You look for the visual cues of a federal response. Flashing red and blue lights reflecting off the pavement, caution tapes stretching across the avenue, and FBI and ATF units swarming the intersection. Down at 17th and Pennsylvania, the reality of the violence is stark. There is blood on the asphalt, and investigators are already placing evidence tags on the ground. To capture this chaos clearly, the crew has to build a camera platform. Heavy equipment must be quickly stabilized and calibrated on uneven, unpredictable terrain. The ideal backdrop is a luxury. The perfect shot is usually just the 1 square foot of pavement that hasn't yet been closed off to the public. Look at this broadcast audio setup diagram. Once a reporter finds their physical spot, they need to hear the studio. They use an IFB, an earpiece delivering a mixed minus feed, allowing them to hear the control room without hearing their own delayed voice echoing back. In a crisis, these technical systems degrade quickly. Control room lines get crossed. You suddenly have producers named Chris and Kevin, plus the main PL line, all shouting conflicting directions into the reporter's ear, while phone batteries rapidly drain in the cold air. The backup plan requires desperate physical improvisations. You might hold a personal cell phone to one ear to dial into the control room, or borrow a wet, heavily used earpiece from a rival crew just to stay connected. As the evening fades, you lose your daylight. Reporters have to barter for camera lights from other journalists, relying entirely on the generosity of the people they are competing against. Technical failure is the primary enemy of breaking news. You can have the best vantage point in the city, but without an open line to the studio, you are effectively shouting into a vacuum. Amidst the tactical gear and the blood on the pavement, the natural world remains indifferent. 2 ducks waddled directly through the police line and into the press area. The reporters describe the moment as surreal. Standing at the edge of a tragedy while waiting for a camera cue requires a specific type of mental focus, one that can note the gravity of the shooting while still catching the absurdity of the ducks. The frantic chatter abruptly stops. The producer counts down from 3, and the camera's red tally light snaps on. Let me set the stage for you. This is 17th Street, Washington, D.C. The White House statement says that the shooting approached that checkpoint. 2 people shot the suspect, and the suspect died at the hospital. The internal White House lockdown has been lifted. That calm, steady voice is a facade. It is built on 30 minutes of dead batteries, tangled wires, and running across an active crime scene. The news is a deeply human, incredibly messy process of gathering facts while standing in the dark. Behind every polished 30-second television update is someone who had to beg for a light panel and shove a wet earpiece into their ear just to hear their cue. The value of journalism comes from the willingness of people to stand in the absolute chaos, figure out what went wrong, and make sense of it for the rest of us.